Just like a lot of you, I grew up on the Harry Potter movies, and on every rewatch since, they warm my heart with nostalgia just the same. Their captivating sense of wonderment and imagination had me daydreaming of one day receiving my own acceptance letter to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, by way of Cookie Owl, of course, so as to whisk me away from my ordinary life and have me embark on a thrilling adventure of enchanting settings, fantastical creatures, and awe-inspiring spells. The first two movies did an incredible job at introducing us to this magical world filled with quirky, oddball, yet charming characters. They serenaded us with iconic scores from the legendary John Williams. They amazed us with spectacular visuals of grandiose sets alongside meticulously detailed props and costumes, bringing the books to life. They showed us that movie magic was as good as the real thing. And with that formula, those two movies were a guaranteed smash hit among kids across the globe, and have aged stupendously, I might add. But as the audience matured, so needed the franchise. The third installment was the first step taken away from being a strictly children's movie. Director Alfonso Cuarón was tasked to helm the transitional feature. With his unique directorial approach, Cuarón successfully explored darker and more complex themes, along with progressing the necessary character development those gloomier subject matters would invoke. That set the foundation, so to speak, for us as an audience to be accustomed to a grittier, magical world. The Goblet of Fire was free to focus the lens on the wickeder aspects and characters of the realm. This side of the wizarding world had been relatively veiled up until this point. However, in the fourth installment, darkness is given the limelight. I've not made this video just to go over the aspects of this movie that matured the franchise, or even just to go over the scene that trembled even the parents watching. More importantly, I want to highlight to you all what I believe to be the exact moment Harry Potter stopped being a kids' movie. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire became the first movie in the series to start with a "wait, what? Like and subscribe" graphic? Sorry, shameless plug, I know, but if you do enjoy any and all of this video, I would really appreciate the support. Moving on, it became the first movie in the series to not open with a scene revolving around Harry, rather opening with soulless stares at the Riddle residence, with a scene that focused on he who must not be named, setting a pertinent example for events to come. Death. Along with the obvious change in character behaviors and plot points, there were more subtle artistic changes the films made to show that the world was maturing. Take the color palette, for example. The shot compositions in many of the scenes in the third and fourth installment have changed hand in hand with the mood of these movies. They started off with warm, bright, and vibrant colors of the Christopher Columbus era, which then evolved to the more cold, raw naturalism of Alfonso Cuarón. The title sequences followed suit, with each progressively getting bleaker in color. The Prisoner of Azkaban's title had the last glimpse of silver lining light before it became completely extinguished in the Goblet of Fire. Even the joyous music of John Williams, who worked on the previous three, was now replaced by the eerie and mysterious score of Patrick Doyle. Apart from the Potter Waltz, that score is just the definition of magical.
Ow.
These environmental changes allowed there to be a natural progression from the last film, acting as a smooth ramp for audiences to settle into the new tone of the franchise. I think the films did a superb job throughout, keeping pace with the target audience and following them through their adolescence. In Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Harry is unexpectedly chosen as one of the champions in the infamous Triwizard Tournament, facing various challenges while uncovering a dark plot involving Lord Voldemort's return. As the tournament unfolds, friendships are tested, secrets are revealed, and Harry confronts his greatest adversary in a climactic battle that changes the course of the wizarding world as he knows it. This installment marks the center of the franchise, having 3 chapters either side of it, if you count the Deathly Hallows films as one, of course. It's literally the Empire Strikes Back of Harry Potter.
The
where evil triumphs for the first time and emerges emphatically. Up until this point, it was all just fairy tales and happily ever afters. Now, all those things I've just mentioned lead up to, of course, the moment I've been referring to. The scene where Amos Diggory lays eyes upon his murdered son. The scene is the anchor for this film, and arguably the most emotional scene in the entire franchise. Cedric was a friend and almost like an older brother to Harry, someone who looked out for him when everyone else was against him, constantly helping each other throughout the tournament, with Harry going as far as saving Cedric moments before his unavoidable demise. This created a bond that quickly had a great emotional weight to it. So for Harry and the audience to see Cedric be murdered only moments after that, for as little as being a spare, it's devastating. It's Harry's first time seeing true death before his eyes. He was there for his mother's death, but he was just a baby at the time. Watching Cedric's body turn stiff and lifeless, and him being helpless, it broke him. Cedric falls dead with as little as a rushing noise and a flash of green light. A relatively tame and PG movie death for kids to see. No excessive blood or visual pain induced. Then to follow that up with seeing the most gut-wrenching and visceral evocation of agony from Amos, you're honestly taken aback. This wallow of pain from Amos resonates throughout the teachers, throughout the students, through the screen and among the audience. It's a definitive break, a moment of stillness from everything. Among the sea of distraught expressions and hollow eyes, the music of adventure abruptly stops. It's the realization that for the first time, they lost. They were force-fed their first taste of the real world. Even in the realm of magic and wonderment, there isn't always a happy ending. Innocent people die. Not just affecting kids and teens, but also for the more adult audience, it elicited a reaction unlike anything seen in the series so far. Especially to those parents that may have been sitting with kids of their own. With Jeff Rawls' unbelievable display of emotion, suddenly it was real. Like the fun fantasy was stripped away to show the most raw and tragic humanity that we as a fandom had ever seen in a family-friendly film at that age. It forced Harry to grow up instantaneously. Whatever childhood innocence he had was stripped of him. His love of magic, forever tainted.
That's my son! It's my boy!
There's a few problems with it as an adaptation, but I love this movie. I give it so much credit for not pulling the punches for what is a huge, pivotal moment for the tone of the entire series. If Prisoner of Azkaban was like inserting the key, then Goblet of Fire, and more specifically this scene, was like kicking the door wide open to reveal the cruelty of dark magic. Well, that's my 2 cents on it. What do you guys think? Also, I'd love to hear what everyone's favorite Harry Potter movie is, so please feel free to share in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and as always, appreciate you watching.